Now listening to Krishna is much greater a surprise. See what he says. Kimasmabhihi anirvrittam devadeva jagadguro bhavata satyakamena yesham vaso guravabhud. I think there is a lot for all people to learn from here. Krishna is worshipped then and also now. And he is no other than Mahavishnu personified, people say. And that Krishna is telling his old friend Sudama, who has come to see him in a manner that I have already described, we have seen. Kim asmabhihi anirvrittam devadeva jagadguru. Krishna was always a respecter of Brahmanas. His classmate happened to be a Brahmin, a Brahmana. So he addresses him as Devadeva Jagadguru. You are the Deva of Devas, God of gods. And then Jagadguru. You are the teacher of the whole Jagat, of the whole world. Kimasmabhihi anirvrittam. Because I had an opportunity to spend my time, Gurukula time, along with you, I think I have attained everything. There is nothing more for me to attain. Bhavata satyakamena. What is your nature? Satyakamena. You are always a seeker of truth, upholder of truth. You always live in conformity with truth. There is nothing untrue in your life. It's very difficult to spot such people. Even in dream they are not available. I happen to be with such a person, not only for 1 week or 1 day, but for many months and years in the Gurukula Vasa. Bhavata satyakamena yesham vaso guravabhud. Along with you, I could spend my educational period in Sandipani teacher's house. This itself is the greatest fortune that I have. I have attained everything that is glorifying in my life. This is the acknowledgement, tribute he was paying to Sudama. Just imagine, can there be any greater ovation, a greater recognition or a confession from Krishna's side? Yasya chando mayam brahma deha apavanam vibho shreyasam tasya gurushu vaso atyanda vidambanam. After hearing this, what is Sudama's response? That also is very interesting. Our Shastras are teaching us in every line. He says, Yasya chandomayam brahma deha apavanam vibho. He looks at Krishna and says, Yasya chandomayam brahma. You are a person whose body is constituted by the Vedas. Your very body is actually echoing Vedas. You are a Veda Purusha. And you are the very source, O Vibho, of everything in this world. For such a person, Shreyasam tasya gurushu vaso atyanda vidambanam. For such a person, this Gurukula Vasa is not at all necessary. Who is there to teach you anything? From where do you have to gain any knowledge? You are knowledge personified. You are truth personified. You are bliss personified. You are everything personified. For such a person, if at all there was a spell in the Gurukula, that is only a semblance. It's a kind of an ostentation or an imitation. It was not necessary for you at all. Why? You are the very source of the Vedas. And Vedas are the very treasure and source of all knowledge. So you personify Vedas in your personality. For such a person, there is no necessity to undergo a formal period of education in the Guru's company. But nevertheless, you had it only to imitate the human ways. That's all. So that people will understand what is meant by Gurukula Vasa. A person like Krishna also had a Gurukula Vasa. Therefore, we should also have. It is only to conform to a procedure or a system or a tradition that we have. Yasya chando mayam brahma deha apavanam vibho shreyasam tasya gurushu vaso atyanda vidambanam. In this way, they went on talking and talking and talking. Krishna held him in beautiful, sweet reminiscences. The conversation got extended. And while it was extending, Krishna at one time Kimupayanamanitam Brahman bhavata grihad Anvapyupahritam bhaktaihi premna bhuryeva me bhavet Bhuryapya bhakto bhakritam name toshaya kalpade Kimupayanamanitam Brahman me bhavata grihad. While he was engaging Sudama in conversation, Sudama also was participating, though with a lot of reservation and shame, etc. Krishna decided, no, I must do something. So he said, Kim Upayanam Anidam. What kind of some token offering or gift have you brought for me? We are meeting after so many decades. And obviously you must have something to give me. You simply have come here waving your hands. You must have brought something. If you have not brought it, at least your Srimati must have given you something. If the husband misses something, it is for the wife to substitute that share. So she must have given you something. Kimupayanamanitam Brahman me bhavata grihad. Something from your house you must have brought. Normally what will we do generally? Whenever we take an offering or something like a gift to anybody, the moment we see him, we first of all take the gift and place it at his feet with a smile or with a lot of dearness and belovedness. That is what we will do. Here Sudama was not in a position to do it. Krishna took the upper part and he was flooding him with overflowing intimacy and this, that and all. And conversation extended. There was no opportunity. So Krishna broke it and then said, what have you brought? And then he not merely inquired and he explains, Anvapyupahritam bhaktaihi premna bhuryeva me bhavet. As if sensing the reservation in Sudama's mind. He says, Anu api upahritam bhaktaihi premna. When devotees bring even a small measure, an atomic measure of something, if they offer it, bring it with a lot of love, overflowing love and fondness, bhuryeva me bhaved. It becomes Himalayan big for me. It may be a small measure like a mustard, but even then it is huge for me, provided it is given with a loving intimacy, with a fervent heart. That is what I want. On the other hand, bhuryapya bhakto bhakritam, maybe an abundant measure is brought with a lot of ostentation by somebody, but there is no devotion at all. Maybe to display his own wealth or his own opulence, his own resourcefulness he gives. If that is done, name toshaya kalpade. Understand it very clearly, it never conduces to my delight, satisfaction or contentment. So he was giving a very good hint. Whatever you have brought, give it to me. I am very happy. Don't think whether it was suitable, whether it would be suitable for me at all. After all, for seeing somebody living in such a huge palace like Dwaraka, how can 4 handfuls of flattened rice be an ample enough or a suitable offering? It cannot be. So Krishna doesn't know all these things. He is explaining it. The value of devotion, the value of offering, the style and standard are clearly mentioned here. Anvapyupahritam bhaktaihi premna bhuryeva me bhavet bhuryapya bhakto bhakritam name toshaya kalpade. Krishna is not satisfied. He explains the proposition still better. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachadi tadaham bhaktyupahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. This is a verse which appears in Bhagavad Gita also. And this particular verse has become the home song of every family here in India, you can say. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachadi. For making an offer to God, you don't have to select the materials if you don't have the capacity and the resourcefulness to do so. After all, what are you going to offer? Your devotion. And to mark the devotional offer, you are seeking the assistance of a product or a material. So the material is not what matters here, but the devotional fervor and wholesomeness alone matter. So he says, patram, a leaf, pushpam, a flower, phalam, a fruit, toyam, If these three are not available, even a spoonful or half a spoonful of water, yaha, whoever, may for me, bhaktya, with devotional fervor, prayachadi, gives. So whether it is water, whether it is flower, whether it is fruit, or whether it is a leaf, what is given is a material item. That material item is not looked into by me at all. How he gives it. So take any material that you want and smear it or besmear it with devotion and then offer it to the Lord. He takes your devotion and gives you back the material. Many of the things, bhoga, that you offer to God, does God take it any time? Does He partake it? Certainly not. You yourself are distributing it to yourself, family members and the others depending upon the quantity offered. God doesn't require. After all, these things are given by Him. What can we give Him? That giving is actually a sense of indebtedness that you must have in your heart. So, patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachadi tadaham bhaktyupahridam. Tadaham bhaktyupahridam. That leaf, that fruit, that flower, or that simple water, bhaktyupahridam. If you can make it an upahara of devotion, this is only an external material or an assistance to generate devotion in your heart. What you are offering is the devotion of your heart. Now, in order to generate it, you are seeking the assistance of these exercises, including materials. So, tadaham bhaktyupahridam, provided it is besmeared by devotion, that I indeed ashnami, I eat profusely. The word ashnami is used. Ashana means eating. Using your hands, etc., take a big morsel and eat, something like that. It's not sipping through the lips, it is eating, mouthful. Tadaham bhaktyupahridam ashnami prayatatmanaha. I open my mouth, I find it is a sumptuous offer, and I eat it profusely to the full of my stomach and also mouth. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachadi tadaham bhaktyupahridam ashnami prayatatmanaha. One important condition is put there. Prayatatmanaha. The man who offers must have the necessary purity, restraint and refinement. He should not be a riff-raff person. He must have control over his personality. He must be moral. He must be ethical. He must be pure. He must be regulated. He must be disciplined. Bhakti always stresses these important personality factors. There is no place in devotion for a kind of a disorderly life. Whatever you do it well with full attention. Keep everything neat and clean. If it is puja vessels, clean them up very well. Even your sofa, the armchair. You see, I am sitting on a chair, and the arms, they are wooden chair. And when I repeatedly keep my hand, because of the sweat, particularly during the summer season, you know that sweat drops into the arms and it becomes discolored. So I was telling them that this is becoming discolored. So Ma has arranged to put some kind of a cover here which can be taken and washed. Otherwise I feel, what is this? Everything becomes black. And if you repeatedly wipe it, the polish also would go away. So everything that you use it in such a manner that there is neatness, cleanliness, orderliness, elegance, beauty, dignity in whatever you do. This is a sense that you should develop. Prayatatmanaha. Yatatma means a person, all the different parts of whose personality he is having control over. The dress that you wear, the articles you use, the place in which you sit or you use for the purpose, everything should be neat and clean. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachadi tadaham bhaktyupahridam ashnami prayatatmanaha. The same verse has found place in Bhagavad Gita also. Ityuktopi dvijastasmai vrididaha pataye shriyaha prithuka prasudim prithuka prasiddhim rajan na prayachad avangmukha. It's a wonderful. Ityuktobi dvijastasmai. Though clearly pronounced in this manner, explained in this manner, what have you brought for me? Even if it is something small and insignificant, understand, sent and brought with devotion, that is a great offer for me. Suppose you had bought something like an elephant's head, but it is not brought with devotion, I simply dislike it. So it does not matter, my dear friend, my dear old friend, whatever you have brought. I want to know whether you have brought anything. Actually, he had brought that flattened rice. It is still in his armpit. It is remaining there. But Sudama, what was his response? Ityuktaha. Even if said in this manner, spoken in this manner, sa dvijaha, that dvija, tasmai vrididaha pataye shriyaha. What is this? When he came and saw Dwaraka, unimaginable palace, everywhere domes of gold. What is this? Such an exquisitely beautiful golden Dwaraka, and my friend is seated there. How can I give him this flattened rice, bundled in a torn piece of cloth? He could not make himself to take it and give it to him. Vrididaha, feeling extremely shameful and restricted. Shriyaha pataye. He has to give somebody, the Lord of all prosperity in this world. That prosperity Lord, something proportionate should be given, but I don't have anything. So how can I give? So he put his head down. This is what he did. Prithuka prasiddhim rajan na prayachad avangmukha. He did not feel like taking it and offering it to the Lord, because it was so meager, so trifling, so disproportionately so. So he did not feel like giving. Ityukto vidujastasmai vrididah padaye shriyaha prithuka prasiddhim rajan na prayachad avangmukha. Just see Sudama's restraint, what kind of a feeling he must have had. My dear souls, poverty is a curse. Daridryam egam gunakoti hari. This one thing called poverty, it robs away gunakoti hari, hundreds and crores of qualities from a person. It is a bane, no doubt. Poverty, poverty, utter poverty. It will never allow a man to shine, that kind of a poverty. But Sudama was able to withstand it. He did not feel like praying to God or doing anything, because his heart was full of devotion. Now the picture is different. Sushila has sent him to Dwaraka. He is right in front of Krishna, seated on the same cot. In spite of it, you know, that human sense, that bashfulness in him, it did not allow him to take the gift and extend it. Sarva bhutatmadrik sakshat tasya agamana karanam. Vedavyasa pictures it, just imagine. That situation is pictured before us. Krishna specifically asking, what gift have you brought me? Even the smallest becomes the biggest when it is associated, coupled with devotion. In spite of these reassuring words, he was not able to offer it. So Krishna, sarva bhutatmadrik sakshat. He is capable of seeing through the eyes of everyone in this world. Not only the visible, the invisible part, namely the mind, intelligence and ego also. That sarva bhutatmadrik, that all-seeing Lord, tasya agamana karanam. He clearly sensed in his mind why this old friend has come to me. Why did Sushila send him to me? So he clearly understood, saw very clearly why he has come. Vijnaya achintayad na ayam shrigamo mam abhajat pura. Vijnaya achintayad na ayam shrigamo mam abhajat pura. All these years, in spite of abject poverty, he has never asked me for any consideration, any reward or otherwise. He never sent me a letter or a telegram. He never sent me a messenger at all. Nothing he has done so far. So he understood very clearly. Never did he think of approaching me for anything. Patnyaha padivrataayastu sakha priyachigirshaya prapto mam asya dasyami sampado amartya durlabha. Abject poverty Sudama's family was suffering from for decades. In spite of it, this Brahmana never thought of approaching anybody or asking for any kind of a bounty from anyone. That is one. Now why has he come? He has not come of his own accord. Patnyaha padivrataayastu sakha priyachigirshaya. This good old friend of mine has come to the palace now, even now, not because of his own volition. This abject poverty is not able to unsettle his mind or his devotional reliance on the Supreme. He is a full Brahmana, completely depending upon chance. Whatever chance brings is okay, acceptable to me. If it is poverty, poverty. If it is opulence, opulence. He has no difference at all. Even now, if he has come to see me, the reason is Patnyaha padivrataayastu sakha priyachigirshaya. Sushila, his wedded wife, pestered him. She was unable to tolerate, forbear anymore the poverty the children were suffering from. So as a loving and a melting mother, she prevailed upon the husband to come over here. That is why he has come. He has not come of his own volition. Prapto mam asya dasyami sampado amartya durlabha. Being so, it is for me to do whatever is necessary. After all, he has come to me. I have seen him. And his behavior, his intention, everything is confirming how devoted he is, how devotionally supreme his heart is. So today, I am going to bless him, definitely. Prapto mam asya dasyami. I am going to give him sampadaha amartya durlabha. I am going to give him such fortune, such blessing, such prosperity, which even the denizens of heavens will not be able to think of. They have not enjoyed. With such a decision, when you place one step towards the Lord, God will take you by 2 or 3 steps. So he has not spoken a word and he has not given the gift also which Sushila sent. He himself asked for it. What upayana can I take? Give it to me. And that he has not given because of the feeling of bashfulness. Itham vijindya vasanad chirabadhan dvijanmanaha swayam jahara kimidam idi prutukatandulan. Itham vijindya vasanad chirabadhan dvijanmanaha. The flattened rice he had brought, which has been bundled up in a torn piece of cloth, that dvijanmanaha swayam jahara. Krishna pulled it from his armpit. This is what he did. He pulled it. He was almost hiding it. So he pulled it himself. Swayam jahara kimidam idi prutukatandulan. What is this? You have brought something and you are not giving it to me. Are you so inconsiderate? I am telling you that whatever you have brought is extremely pleasing and delightful to me. Even it is an atomic measure. In spite of it, you are not giving me. It is so costly and so precious that you cannot give it to me. So he pulled it from him. Nanvetadupaniidam me paramapreenanam sakhe. Oh, you have brought this flattened rice. This is my choice, delicious item for me in my life. Nanvetadupaniidam me paramapreenanam sakhe. My dear friend, this is the most delicious and most precious gift for me. Tarpayantyangamam vishwam ede pratukatandula. Tarpayantyangamam vishwam ede pratukatandula.